What's good, people? I got a clip. Well, I got a couple of them that I want to play, man. Some of them might trigger you. They really shouldn't, but you can't really control how people feel about certain stuff. This one is about Oak Bluff. I wasn't familiar with it until now. And pretty much there's a lot of individuals who weren't too happy with what was said here. So I'm gonna play a clip. We're gonna chop it up, and we're gonna try to peel some of these layers back. Anyway, roll footage.
So let's go ahead and get into it. So this is Oak Bluffs, Massachusetts, Martha's Vineyard. Now, there is no fatigue here. All right, there's no black fatigue here. There's only beauty. There's only families. There's only professionals. There are only doctors. There are only lawyers. There are only professors. There are only accountants. There are only finance people. That's what you find down here. Families enjoying themselves. Listen, Oak Bluffs has been a haven of black wealth in this country for 100 years, and I love it so very much. My wife is here. We love it. In fact, I'll be going back home today, but then we'll be back, God willing, in a week to actually enjoy ourselves because we will be spending a week here through 4th of July. It's going to be beautiful. But you know what? If you know how to act, come on down to Oak Bluffs. We'd love to have, at least I would, love to have people coming down seeing this. This is beautiful. You know what? A lot of times in the media, we get inundated with negativity regarding black people. Well, come on down to Oak Bluffs and see what's going on down here. But remember, you got to come down here. You got to know how to act. But I love it. Black wealth, elite black wealth. But you know what? What we don't do is look down on everybody else. What we do is help everybody else because we want more to come down here. Anyways, continue to follow me. I am a professor, a teacher, and a financial coach, bringing financial education to the urban community and beyond. See you soon.
Nigga to go there, I don't want to go. If you have to give me a disclaimer just because I'm black that I need to act a certain kind of way, you ain't gotta worry about it. I don't need to be there. And that man who made the post about coming to Oak Bluff, I'm sure he's a nice man. I'm sure he's a very nice man. However, I don't understand how y'all are not seeing. Well, I do understand. A lot of us still have this mentality, still have this perception that we can perform our way out of racism. And I fear that, like, y'all are not connecting the dots.
So,
All right. Shout out to Anton. I didn't hear anything that was offensive, to be honest with you. But for conversational purposes, I'm going to try my best to see if I can understand exactly where she's coming from. Because what it sounds like she is saying here is we're trying to adapt to white people, or we're trying to conform to a culture of people who never respected us, or we're trying to change or forcefully convert black culture into something that it isn't. Or if you're not this or that, then you're not qualified to fit in here, or whatever the case may be. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like a woman who would get offended by a man asking her, "What do you bring to the table?" I mean, it is what it is. Ma'am, I need you to take a deep breath and let me paint a picture for you. When you get on Instagram, Facebook, whatever app you utilize, and don't tell me that you've curated your platforms to see certain stuff as a escape out of what I'm about to ask you. How often do you see black on black violence, domestic fights on trains, overly promiscuous and overly sexualized men and women using their platforms to profit off of their femininity, their sexuality? How often do you get on social media and see news about a black kid being killed or a black woman being killed by their own kind, by the way? I'll let that one sink in for a second. The thing that I dislike about us specifically is that we can't be honest, because at a certain age, you know that you do not have to stay in that lifestyle. You can be something else. You do not have to be a rapper or live the archetype of a hoochie mama, Jezebel, drug dealer slash convict lifestyle. You do realize there are other options in life, but a lot of us tend to prefer to stay within that realm because it's comfortable, it's easy, and you're scared to leave out of that. Like there's something wrong with being something other than. I want to show you something. I want to play something here that helps you to better understand that brother's position and many others like him on why it's so important that us as a culture begin to move a little differently and why we should have more respect for ourselves. But yeah,
No one's talking about the historical significance of this collab when it comes to the Black experience in Martha's Vineyard. I've been reading this book by Shamari Willis called Black Fortunes. There's a specific part where he talks about Black people in Martha's Vineyard. During enslavement, some of the richest Black people in America lived on Martha's Vineyard, and many of them never knew enslavement. They were born free and they stayed free. It was mostly because of the industry a lot of Black people were in that lived in that area. A lot of Black people were involved in whaling. This was a lucrative industry for a lot of different reasons, and the main reason being racism. The thought process at the time was that Black people were physically stronger, and whaling was in demand because of the demand to make expensive perfume. So this gave Black people the opportunity to captain their own ships, have their own crews, and make their own money. Many of them set up a cooperative system so where everyone got an equal share at the end of the whaling expedition. This is Captain William Shorey, his wife Zenobia, and his 2 children. He was one of the first African-American captains with an all-African-American whaling crew. Whaling also gave Black people the opportunity to travel, sometimes to different countries, and it kept them for the most part above the Mason-Dixon line. So while slavery was going on, they would rarely ever see the full extent of it as if they were living in the South. The big part is they would also have enough money to educate their children, and free people from around the Northeast and sometimes the United States would send their children to Martha's Vineyard to be educated. Because of these factors, Martha's Vineyard became sort of like a bubble for many Black people. Some of the earliest donors for abolition causes came from Martha's Vineyard, and Martha's Vineyard was a stop on the Underground Railroad. So when I see this collab that Ralph Lauren did with Morehouse College, I see unfettered Black success, generational wealth. I see the American dream, and Ralph Lauren put it perfectly. This collection is about more than a charming coastal town. It's a story of the American dream. Oak Bluff's unique history, traditions, and sense of community deeply inspire me and speak to what we are all searching for, a place where we can be free to be ourselves, uncontrived, joyful, and truly at home. And the professor of art history at Spelman even made a note. We made a concerted choice to be in Oak Bluffs because we knew we would be safe. This place nurtures from the heart, the soul, and the environment in a way that you're able to build bonds with people. If you've made it this far, give me a
I played that clip just so that you could get a better understanding as to why this brother spoke in the way that he spoke. And it wasn't disrespectful, it wasn't rude or anything of that nature. But you have to understand there's always history that shapes a person's perspective. And for him, the environment that has been cultivated is one of health and abundance and jubilance. It shows our resourcefulness, our resilience, that we can be cordial, we can be intellectually present. We don't have to be emotionally irrational and erratic. There's just different things about our culture that doesn't get celebrated or showcased enough. And I think that's a part of the reason why folks like her and others had so much pushback towards his remark, not really understanding how deep this really actually goes. So, as far as I'm concerned, who really wants to be around people who are constantly problematic or can't control their tempers or just don't have no type of decorum whatsoever? Everything has to become violent or about pride and ego and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I always say. There's black people and then there's the N words, because we view life just completely different. I don't know. Did you hear or see anything that was wrong with his comment, bro? I didn't. And shout out to this brother here for the research. I appreciate everybody's perspective, but we gotta really do better, man. Everything is not meant to be offensive. You know what I'm saying? It's all in how you hear it.